Hello everyone, today we will have another video review, and this time we will feature new kit, relatively new, that's the Profipack Focke-Wulf 190 Nachtjager, and as you can see that's traditional 48 scale model. That's quite recent release from Eduard, and it's quite different from previous ones because this one is dedicated for the night fighters, night Focke-Wulfs. That's quite traditional Profipack. As you can see on the top we have this nice box art and this orange line. Here we have 4 marking options which are available in this kit. On the sides there is some information about the model. It's also written here that there are 227 plastic parts, and what else? Assembled model will have a wingspan of 21 cm and length of 18.6 cm. Of course it's made in Czech Republic. It's also written here that it contains PE parts and Eduard mask, but I mean we all know that Profipack features these bonuses. So let's open it. That's traditional top opening box, as you can see. Inside we find plenty of sprues. By the way, I want to point your attention that they're now molded in this grayish plastic, not the brown as it was before. So let's check one by one and see why this kit is interesting for us. Okay, so here is the first interesting thing. Canopy. Front part of the canopy got separated from the sprue. Give me a moment, I will focus the camera for you. So here you can see it got separated from the sprue, and I mean it's not damaged, but be careful because parts are quite they require attention during shipment. Other than that, as you can see, quality is really perfect. I mean, canopy really looks beautiful, and here's this frozen areas which would have to be painted. And of course you don't have to be worried about this, how to preserve these transparent areas, because manufacturing includes masks. So that's all for the transparent parts. Let's move on to the fuselage parts, wing parts, all the parts which are molded in the grey plastic. Okay, so here we have 4 sprues, and there are 2 sprues with wing parts and 2 sprues with fuselage. So let's check first wing parts. I will try to find a difference between them. Yes, there are differences between them. Those are obviously some hatches, as you can see, for example here and here. It's possible to see on the light. What else? Other than that, I would say quality is still perfect, even though we all know that Focke-Wulf 190 is not quite a fresh model from Eduard, but still we have recessed panel lines and riveting present on the bottom wing half. And on the inside, of course, there is nothing. As you can see, flaps are molded together, but ailerons are molded separately. So that's for the wing parts. Then we have 2 separate sprues with fuselage halves, which are also different in some aspects. I guess I would need plenty of time. Yeah, okay, so here we have some hatches which are different in various versions of this fighter. So here you can see it. For example, this one, and here it's absent. Other than that, quality is relatively the same. recessed panel lines, riveting all over the fuselage house. Inside there is no detailing at all, because cockpit will be assembled separately, as you can see. And what else? Wings have some modest detailing of the wheel wells, as you can see. Then we have another bag which is, let's say, dedicated to several sprues with minor parts, such as, for example, this one, which contains propeller, cockpit, bath, and also some gun bay hatches, and also what else? Some underbelly tanks, bombs, and even wheel wells parts, as you can see here. Of course, there is nothing on the other side of the sprue. Molding is quite excellent. The only question would be related to the propellers, because you can see attachment points are placed on the blades, not on the hub. So let's hope that it would be covered and it would be easy to separate. Nevertheless, like, attachment points are quite thin, so it would be possible to separate them carefully without damaging parts. This is quite an old release from Eduard, but still it has quite very detailed gun bay. As you can see here, machine guns, also gun bay cover, what else? Here you can see landing gear doors, some parts of the dashboard, here one more. Really nice molding. I mean, you can't, let's say, guess the age of this kit just by looking on the parts, because everything is still intact, and I would say it can be compared with some top manufacturers. I mean, yeah, we know that Eduard is also top manufacturer, but this kit is a bit old, let's say. This kit is also interesting because it includes several special sprues. Here is the one which would be used to imitate aerials and antennas on the night versions of the fighter. It's quite nice. Here we have another sprue which is dedicated, I guess, to some version of the Focke-Wulf. And here we can see flash suddenly on the wheel. I mean, nothing serious, but it's quite surprising to see flash in another kit. Then we have, what else? Sprue with engine parts. Yes, this model will have a quite detailed plastic engine without any resin or something else. You just assemble the kit and you have very detailed heart of this fighter. Really nice. Here you can see landing gear struts. Then we move on, and then we have more engine parts. As you can see here, the same molding quality, the same thin attachment points, and I mean, nothing to complain here. Just excellent parts. Then we have traditional Profipack manual, which is printed as a color brochure. As you can see, instructions are quite typical for those kits. And here is the stencil guide, here marking options guide. So there are A8 version, A6 version and A7 version in this kit. That's why we have 2 fuselage sprues and 2 wing parts. Not because we can assemble 2 versions, I mean 2 models, just because we have different versions included into this kit. Then there are 2 small PE threads. Nevertheless, they would be quite useful, because one is aimed to improve the cockpit. Just give me a moment. Okay, here we have it. As you can see, that's traditional dashboard, belts and various minor parts. Nevertheless, they would considerably improve the cockpit. And other small P thread, it's not pre-painted, and obviously it would be used for some external upgrades. Nevertheless, we have also here pedals, rudder pedals, so it would be used also in the cockpit. Really quite nice. Then we have canopy masks, and there are also wheel masks, because as you saw, wheels on this model are molded as a single piece. That's why we would need separate masks in order to get perfectly painted parts. Here are stencils. They're printed on a separate sheet. As you can see, they're printed by Eduard, and quality is quite okay. I mean, even the smallest symbols like this are easily readable, and I think it won't be a problem to apply them on the model. And then we have a bit bigger sheet, decal sheet, which is printed by Cartograph. As you can see, it's written here. It features also decal for the dashboard. It features some even bigger symbols. It features all necessary symbolic and signs which you would need for the marking options included. And I want to say that the quality is really perfect. I mean, it's obvious. So that's pretty much all for today. As you can see, box is empty and nothing else left in the box. As I say, that's all for today, but don't forget to check full review on our website. And I would like to thank you for watching this video, and see you soon.